I have loved Batman basically my entire life, and the older I get, the more I realize what drew me to him as a kid wasn't the brooding or the darkness or the really cool car. It was something I couldn't name then, but I can name now. It was Batman's ability to feel for other people. Once you fully understand that, you realize how every night, every fight is rooted in compassion, drawn from pain. When something traumatic happens to us, we all have a choice in how we carry it. Some people bury it. Some people let it consume them. Some people transform it into a reason to keep going. Bruce Wayne chose to partake in a mission rooted in understanding pain, the kind that can only truly be felt from losing everything you love. He masked it under a billionaire's smile, he let it consume every waking hour of his life, and he morphed his pain into the most relentless crime-fighting mission any fictional city has ever seen. But here's the question nobody asks. What does it do to a person to turn their trauma into their entire identity? Is Batman the result of healing or a developed compulsion? As someone who has consumed Batman comics and movies, shows, and video games since I was a kid, I've come to understand what makes Bruce Wayne Batman isn't his villains, his gadgets, or the suit. It's his ability to take the worst night of his life and transform it, to take his tragedy and birth a mission, a purpose, a legacy. Batman exists because a little boy watched his parents die in Crime Alley, and he said, never again. Never again would a child or anyone feel helpless and alone in the crime-ridden streets of Gotham. He becomes the Dark Knight to rid the city of crime, but the tragedy is that a Gotham without crime means Batman is no longer needed, and Bruce Wayne may not know who he is without him. Everyone knows Bruce Wayne's parents are murdered, and that's ultimately why he becomes Batman. But nobody talks about how his most formative memory shapes way more than just choosing to don the cowl and appear stoic. It affects how he moves, his hatred of guns, how he loves, and most importantly, the way he sees himself. He can't see someone in danger without it pulling him back to that night and compelling him to act.
I'm scared.
Don't be. It's going to be all right.
The clearest example of his psyche is in Mask of the Phantasm, where Bruce is on his knees at his parents' grave, apologizing, begging them for permission to lay down the Batman mantle, something they never asked him to become, but what he has convinced himself he owes them for what happened that night. His shame is on full display from simply wanting to be happy because he never thought he would consider foregoing his mission. His identity becomes fully attached to Batman. The thought of leaving him behind, in a way, would be leaving his parents behind. That memory of loss doesn't live in the past. It shapes every decision he makes. But here's what's so remarkable about Batman. He's human. He experiences pain, sorrow, and loneliness. His initial guilt for what happened to his parents is very human, just like the need to avenge them that follows is. Because of his empathy, he comes to understand the system of corruption is the root of Gotham's wound, not just the criminals themselves. It doesn't give room for humans to be better, simply perpetuates the cycle of suffering.
Just stay with me all day, risking your butt for someone who's never given you anything but trouble.
I know what it's like to try and rebuild a life. I had a bad day too, once.
I think the Batman does a fantastic job adapting the empathy Bruce Wayne adopts into his mission. Bruce begins his crusade seeking vengeance and ends up becoming a beacon of hope. This is even displayed visually, as sequences throughout the movie show him looking down upon the people of Gotham from an angle of privilege, because he doesn't yet understand the classism that affects the average life of Gotham citizens. He just sees corruption. The final act of the movie shows him on the ground leading the people out of the flood, out of the darkness with a beacon of red light, symbolically meeting the people where they need him the most, where he now understands that people need help out of the darkness to be saved. He wants to rescue the helpless, and he thought the only way to accomplish that was through fear. But at the end of the movie, he realizes humanity needs hope. The criminals must fear him, but the people, they have to believe in him. And that belief is what separates a vigilante from a legend. But what really keeps us talking about Batman 80 years later? There are plenty of heroes rooted in justice and fighting for the little guy and expelling corruption. So what separates Batman from all of them? Batman's Rogues Gallery is the most revered in all superhero media. Many villains have certainly been underutilized for the level of gravitas they bring to the character, and a lot of fans feel there isn't a Batman without some of his more fantastical villains. I reject this sentiment. There's a reason Batman works in so many different genres. Thriller? Check. Horror? Absolutely.
Father, it's Stanton's son.
Cyberpunk? Yep, that'll do. It's because what makes the character of Batman is his moral compass. And you don't need fantastical villains to portray that. However, when his fantastical villains are done right, they exist for a specific purpose. They challenge his psyche in intricate ways and test his moral code directly. They don't define Batman. They're a mirror, and every villain reflects a different part of what Batman is fighting against or fighting to never become. That's why so many grounded adaptations work. Batman is a human man in a fantastical world, but strip that world away and what you have left is a man who refuses to stop fighting corruption. And corruption doesn't require a comic book. We unfortunately see it every day. Which brings us to Gotham itself, because Gotham isn't just a setting, it's a character. And like every character in Batman's world, it should reflect something about Bruce Wayne. This is where the Nolan trilogy after Batman Begins loses something. Chicago is a beautiful city, but it doesn't carry weight. It doesn't feel like a place that could break someone. It doesn't feel like Gotham City. The Batman gets this right. The neon bleeding through the rain, streets that feel like they haven't seen sunlight in years, a manor that looks like grief written in architecture. When Gotham feels like any other city, Batman loses a core aspect of his story. But when Gotham feels like Gotham, broken, corrupted, yet refusing to die, you can see the full picture of Bruce Wayne's emotions every time he goes on patrol.
I'm vengeance.
Batman exists to fight these corruptions and systematic failures, to take on issues the GCPD is failing to address, and the issues compromised leaders of Gotham won't fix. This is why Two-Face is one of Batman's most underrated villains. Bruce sees something in Harvey Dent that he recognizes, a man who loves Gotham enough to exhaust himself fighting for it. He empathizes with that passion. He aligns with it. They want the same thing. A better Gotham. He believed in Harvey to fight in the light in a way Batman never could. Harvey Dent was a version of the Mission without the mask, and he gave the city hope and Bruce Wayne a friend to share a vision with. But where Bruce's mind forged discipline, Harvey's broke him. Two-Face isn't just a villain to Bruce. He's a warning. A living reminder of how easily trauma can evolve and destroy you. Batman is grounded in compassion, and that compassion is what keeps him from becoming the very thing he fights.
I think Thomas Wayne was onto something. You can't beat him, Jimbo. Not your way. Join him first.
Mr. Freeze is my favorite Batman villain, not just because I find his character beautifully tragic, but because of what his relationship with Batman reveals. There is a mutual respect between them that forms as they come to understand each other. Heart of Ice perfectly encapsulates the devastation that befalls Victor Freeze. His mission is rooted in love, only to save or avenge his wife. Batman understands that Victor isn't driven by evil. Victor understands that Batman abides by a code, and sometimes even aligns with him because he knows he's more trustworthy than his peers.
Mind her, Batman. Please.
I will. Get the ship under control.
Mr. Freeze is a perfect example of what happens when empathy has limits. Batman recognizes that inability to move on from loss, knows he would have done anything to save his parents, so he even funds Victor's research at times to give him a chance to save Nora. He doesn't just fight Victor Freeze. He grieves for him. And even as Victor leaves destruction in his wake, Batman still wants him to be saved. Joker is Batman's opposite. A man dressed as a bat using fear to suppress crime, yet his actions are rooted in compassion, whereas Joker portrays himself as a circus clown, but everything he does is rooted in chaos and cruelty. He is devoid of that kindness inherent to Batman. But Joker exists to ask the question, what separates you from me? Where Bruce's pain transforms into purpose, Joker's becomes destruction.
I'm back.
Bruce took his suffering and chose to contain it, to use it as a reason to make Gotham safer, better. Joker took his pain and chose to infest the city with it, with chaos, with suffering. He exists to test Batman's morals to their limits. But what Joker really wants is to prove that anyone can turn evil from one moment, one traumatic event. He wants Batman to break, to prove that total compassion is a lie and that everyone has a limit. Every attack, every victim, every line he crosses is designed to make Batman abandon the one thing that separates them. Batman's unwavering morality is the target. It's the reason Joker won't end his reign of chaos.
Seeing as how I'm feeling generous, I'll give you this one for free. Knock me off, I dare you. End this. Pull the plug. Stop me once and for all. Oh, you're getting too predictable, Bats.
And yet, Batman refuses to break. He refuses to kill Joker, not because he can't, because he believes even the most broken person deserves the chance to be something else. Because the most powerful thing Batman does doesn't include the gadgets or the training or the fear. It's choosing to believe that even a man who has caused so much suffering in Gotham deserves to be saved rather than ended. That's who Batman is. So what does all of this build towards? What does an 80-year-old character built on grief and compassion actually leave behind? There's a clip of Kevin Conroy that gets passed around every time someone wants to explain Batman.
To me, Bruce Wayne is the performance.
He says Bruce Wayne is the mask. And I agree, but I think people take this too literally. It doesn't mean that every time he's not in the suit he isn't himself. It means this. The billionaire womanizer for the cameras is not Bruce Wayne. That is the performance. Bruce Wayne feels everything Batman feels. The compassion, the grief, the mission. When he's with Alfred or Dick or the Bat family out of the suit, that is still him. Now, this is not to say that Batman is a perfect beacon of compassion in every aspect of his life. There was a lot to say about his decisions as a parent and a mentor, and honestly, that is its own separate video. But his intentions come from a good place. When he donates to charities or fights for Gotham in the light, that is still his true desire on display. Batman is the mental fortress that gives Bruce Wayne the direction and outlet he needs to navigate his emotions and his nightmares. And the reverse is equally true. Bruce Wayne grounds Batman in his own humanity, so he is never fully lost to the darkness he fights against every day. I don't see them as fully separate people, because Batman does not exist without Bruce Wayne, without the humility that grounds him, the same humility that comes out when no one is watching. So if you cannot see your version of Batman comforting a small child, then you're not seeing Batman.
Does the hurt ever go away?
I wish I could say yes. But it will get better in time. For you. That I promise.
Batman's legacy is radical empathy. And genuine empathy does not come from only being able to relate to someone else's pain through shared experience, but rather being able to be present with them and share a piece of that burden for them. And some of the best moments where that is displayed is with the Justice League. He fights alongside gods. Superman can punch planets. Wonder Woman is the daughter of Zeus. Flash can outrun time. But what makes Batman belong in that company isn't power, it's conviction. He stands as part of the Trinity not because he can match them physically, but because he is unmovable. And what they may not even fully realize is the reason they believe in him so deeply is the same reason Gotham does. It's his empathy. The same quality that makes him sit with a dying child on a swing set is the same quality that makes Superman defer to him in a room full of gods. They feel it even when they can't name it. And there is one scene I always come back to, and people tell me Batman is just darkness and brutality. One scene that proves everything to me. It's the iconic scene from Justice League Unlimited. Ace was a powerful villain among the Royal Flush Gang, originally experimented on by Amanda Waller, whose abilities grew to world-altering levels. Ace begins suffering from a terminal brain aneurysm, and Waller orders someone to use a device to kill her before she destroys the world. Batman offers himself to do it, but he has no intention of using that device. He went to offer her his empathy in her final moments. He doesn't just relate to the childhood that is stolen from her.
I'm sorry.
Could you stay with me? I'm scared.
He takes a piece of that burden she carries so she doesn't sit with it alone. His compassion saved millions, where Waller's plan could have been catastrophic. It matters to him that she is not left alone. He sits on the swings with her and holds her hand as she passes, not because it changes the outcome, but because Batman's humanity is his greatest strength. Strip away the spectacle of Batman, the myth created around the legendary vigilante. Batman is still the boy in crime alley scared of people dying, who will stop at nothing to end the cycle of crime and death, to close the bleeding wounds of Gotham and eventually the world, so that no one goes without a father, a mother, or anyone they love. That is empathy, the most relentless, brutal, and compassionate kind there is. Who is Batman to you? Can you agree with some of my points? Do you have others you think I could have brought up? Let me know in the comments below. And I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed putting it together.